So here we are, we're outside number 7 Cavendish Avenue, and this behind me here is Paul McCartney's house. I think it might be in as well, because you can just see one of the windows open and the lights are on. He bought it in 1965, April 1965, for £40,000 off a Dr. Desmond O'Neill. So it'll have been probably roughly about the time they were either filming Help or Rubber Soul. Probably Help, because it was earlier on in the year. He wanted somewhere of his own, and somewhere that was also near Abbey Road Studios. So now, follow me, we're going to take the route that Paul made every day when he was going to work at Abbey Road Studios from the Beatles' heyday, 1965 onwards. Follow me.
Would Paul have carried a ukulele there though, Dom?
Hey, you never know, he'd probably had all sorts of different instruments.
Hiya, you're right. I don't think Paul would have ever have got knocked over by a Vauxhall Movano in the day.
No. Billy Fury's house, yeah. So he was part of Larry Parnes' stable. And the Beatles actually worked for Larry Parnes before they made it big. They went up to Scotland, did a tour of Scotland, and Larry Parnes was the manager, and he also managed Billy Fury. By the way, I don't know if many people know this, in Paul's back garden, he's got this massive kind of dome that he uses to sit in, and he just uses it to look at the stars at night. And apparently he had a party back in the 90s, and he invited Noel Gallagher to sit with him in this dome. And of course Noel Gallagher was really excited being a Beatles fan. And then I don't know if it had been to do with what they'd been smoking together, but I think Noel suddenly got a bit of the fear, and he said, "I hope he don't kiss me."
So this probably leads down to the back of
Paul's back garden, yeah. So then, folks, here we are. This is the Zebra Crossing. Here we are then. So we're at Abbey Road Studios now. So that took us probably, we haven't looked at the counter yet, but it's probably taken about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you were going to do a saunter, it might take you 7 minutes. If you're going to do a bit of a jog, it might take you 3 minutes. But it's roughly 5 minute walk from Paul's house to Abbey Road Studios. So that tells you that he kind of really wanted to immerse himself in his work. He wanted to live literally 5 minutes round the corner. So if he had some recording or he had an idea of something, it's like, oh, I'll just nip into the studio, and he didn't have far to go. And the interesting thing is that John and George in particular, they opted to live more in the stockbroker belt in Surrey, because George lived in Esher, John lived in Weybridge. And you get the feeling that they were never that comfortable with the being famous kind of thing. And it kind of, George even said that it was an attack on his nervous system, whereas Paul really relished the idea of going out, socialising, networking, going to the Indica Gallery, meeting all these famous artists and musicians that were out at the time. So yeah, so it just goes to show that Paul was right in the thick of it all, and he had a recording studio at his disposal, 5 minutes walk from his house.